Okay, Common Gaming here, and we do the History of Autism Part 2. Each week I'm doing the History of Autism for this month for education. Um, During the 1960s, people on the spectrum would be institutionalized. By 1968, it was outlawed to do lobotomies, but earlier in the 60s, they would do lobotomies on people on the spectrum. Um, and the Kennedy family voiced out against that, which was good. Now they can't do that anymore. And but during the late 60s, to be institutionalized. During the 1970s, the area where I was at, from 1970 to 1977, they would take kids who had any form of mental disability, autism, you name the disability. They would take you from a house, put you in a school for a whole year. The only time you were allowed to go home was on like holidays, like the holidays in December for 2 weeks. Then they would come and take you again. It was very bad, inhumane conditions, and uh, it was like another form of institution, but like education thing. That school was shut down in 1977. Uh, there was a lot of those around Canada and around the world at that time. Um, but then advocates advocates, like People's First and all that, pushed out against it. And then in 1979, it was a Inclusive Education Act in 1979, which included the IPP. Because the rest of the 70s, even then, they still would uh, not include in the classroom, but then and then the 80s, they would start to put kids in classrooms who had autism and disabilities. And then by the 90s, uh, there was laws and rules put in place that everyone's supposed to have equal education, but there's still institutions out there that need to be shut down. A lot of them have been shut down recently, but a lot more need to be, and we can't create new ones. With autism, we learned a lot. During the 90s, when someone had sensory overload, they would not know what to do. They just thought you were acting out, but now they understand. And then during the 90s, they learned more with autism. They didn't really understand stemming that much. They're still learning about that. And during the 2000s, they learned more about stemming. And today, they know more and more about the stemming. And now they understand that stemming is okay. And now they know what to do. And now we just need to, and during the 50s, they really didn't understand autism too much. They just thought um, the parents weren't paying attention to their kid, but that's not really true. Um, we just have a different operating system. That's the end for this week of Education of Autism. We'll make one next week. Hope you have a good day, night, evening, and you are loved.